A war was started by a soccer game. The fastest object ever made is a manhole cover. And there was a pod of killer whales. We'll have you rethinking everything you thought you knew for sure. So, buckle up to surprise and amaze everyone in your friends and family. Welcome to another episode of 30 Weird Fun Facts. Without wasting any more time, let's get started with. Number 1. There is a company based in California that sells mirrors that make people look 10 pounds thinner. Overall, the mirrors have contributed to 54% of total sales for retailers that use them. This happens because of the slight inward curve in the glass. Number 2. When mice live in the wild, they typically only live for about 6 months. This is mostly due to the fact that they're a good source of food for other animals. However, in a controlled environment, like being kept as a pet, they can live up to 2 years. Number 3. Researchers have found that flossing your teeth can help memory. When we floss, we reduce the inflammation and potential infection in our mouth, keeping the infection from spreading to brain cells, resulting in our memory working more effectively. Number 4. A wildlife technician, Richard Thomas, took the famous tongue twister, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, and calculated a rough estimate of what the answer would actually be. It came out to be around 700 pounds. Number 5. In 1994, the company that had a patent on GIFs tried to charge a fee for using GIFs. The PNG was invented as an alternative, and the company backed down. Patents don't last particularly long. The last one relevant to GIF expired in 2004. Number 6. China is spending $3 billion to build panda-shaped solar farms. These solar parks are relatively small by China's standards, but they are certainly patriotic and a PR strategy to get more young people interested in renewable energy. Number 7. A man with severe OCD and a phobia of germs attempted to commit suicide with a gun to his head. Instead of killing him, the bullet eliminated his mental illness without any other damage. Weird, right? Number 8. 500 seeds of 5 different types of seeds were taken into orbit around the moon and later planted around the US as well as a few countries. They were called moon trees. Unfortunately, many moon trees were planted without identifying signage, and the locations of most of the trees have been lost. Number 9. The Guinness World Record for the longest time spent searching for the Loch Ness Monster is held by Steve Feltham, who camped at Loch Ness for 25 years. Those who claim to have seen it describe it as a large humped creature with a long neck and flippers. However, scientists disproved the evidence. Number 10. During the 1908 Olympics in London, the Russians showed up 12 days late due to the fact that they were using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. Number 11. You exhale your fat. When you exercise, the burned fat metabolizes to become carbon dioxide, water, and energy, meaning that you exhale the fat that you lose. Number 12. When shuffling a deck of cards, the number of possible arrangements is approximately 8 times 10 to the power 67th. That's more than the number of stars in the observable universe. Number 13. Disappointment Island is an uninhabited island in New Zealand. Over 65,000 pairs of white-capped albatross live there. In 1868, a steel tanker crashed on the island, which killed 68 people, leaving the 15 survivors waiting 18 months to be rescued. In 1907, another ship ended up crashing there, and 12 men drowned. Number 14. The American roulette wheel is different from the European wheel. The American one has 2 green spaces, while the European one only has 1. Although on both, if you add up all the numbers on a roulette wheel, you will get 666. Number 15. The Vatican had music that was forbidden to be copied, and was only played twice per year. It was secret for almost 150 years until a 14-year-old Mozart heard it and transcribed it from memory. Number 16. 14 years before the infamous Titanic sank, author Morgan Robertson wrote the novella Futility. It was about the large, unsinkable ship, Titan, hitting an iceberg in the northern Atlantic. What's even weirder is the Titanic and the fictional Titan did not have enough lifeboats for the thousands of passengers on board. Number 17. In Svalbard, a remote Norwegian island, it is illegal to die. This is because bodies are unable to be buried safely due to the permafrost on the ground, If you are about to die, they fly you back to mainland Norway to pass on there. Number 18. Animal Planet aired 2 fake documentaries that proved mermaids exist. So many people thought it was real that the US government issued an official statement about it. In fact, Animal Planet has been criticized for giving the impression of being an actual documentary, when in fact much of the material was made up, and the scientists shown were actors. Number 19. Using forks used to be seen as sacrilegious. The widely used eating utensils were once seen as blasphemous and an offense to God. Why? Because they were artificial hands, and as such, were considered to be sacrilegious. Number 20. The average US household has 300,000 things, from paper clips to ironing boards. US children make up 3.7% of children on the planet, but have 47% of all toys and children's books. Number 21. A certain type of box jellyfish's venom will make you feel a strong sense of anxiety and sense of impending doom, and possibly thoughts of suicide. These symptoms can last up to 2 weeks. Number 22. When electricity was first installed in the White House in 1891, President Benjamin Harrison and his wife were afraid of electrocution because of the new concept. They refused to touch light switches, so the staff had to turn the lights on and off for them. Number 23. In 1923, a jockey suffered a fatal heart attack, but his horse finished and won the race, making him the first and only jockey to win a race after death. Number 24. In Japan, many families eat a KFC for Christmas dinner. Many people order their meals months in advance and queue for hours to collect them. Every Christmas season, an estimated 3 to 4 million Japanese families treat themselves at KFC, which reportedly sells 10 times more on the 24th of December than on a typical day. Number 25. Pod of killer whales. In the early 1900s, there was a pod of killer whales who helped humans hunt down other whales in Australia. They would do this for the fins and tongues of the captured whales as rewards, and this agreement was known as the Law of Tongue. Number 26. If you're shot by a sniper, you'll be dead before you hear the gun. The speed of sound is 343 meters second. But a bullet fired from a rifle travels at 762 meters second. This means that if you're ever targeted by an expert marksman, you'll be dead before you hear the gunshot, which is comforting, right? Number 27. The fastest object ever made by man was a manhole cover. When it comes to sheer speed, race cars, fighter jets, and space rockets have nothing on a round, flat hunk of metal normally found covering a sewer. It wasn't made to be a speedster, but when an underground nuclear bomb test launched the 4-inch thick steel disc at an estimated 125,000 miles per hour, or 5 times the Earth's escape velocity, it became the winner. In contrast, the New Horizons spacecraft maxed out at 36,373 miles per hour. Number 28. A number that will blow your mind, literally. Graham's number is a number so large that a digital representation of it cannot be contained in the observable universe. Scientific humorists joke that if you actually tried to write it out, it would cause a tear in the space-time fabric, causing your head, and everything really, to explode. Number 29. Every 2 minutes, people take more photos than were taken in the entire 19th century. These days, you can't walk a block outside without seeing someone snapping a selfie, or Instagramming their food, or posting their kids on Facebook. Taking pictures has become such a part of our daily lives that every 2 minutes we snap more photos than were taken through all of the 1800s. Number 30. A war was started by a soccer game. In 1969, the soccer teams of Honduras and El Salvador were competing for a spot in the 1970 World Cup. Tensions mounted as the teams were tied 1-1 and went into a third match. When El Salvador won the playoff, riots erupted. The riots boiled over into a full-scale war with over 2,000 casualties on each side. After 4 days of fighting, the 100-hour war was ended. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel for more fun videos.